I'm not used to have mustache. You get beer in the beard. You get beer in the beard. Also talk a little tutorial about sleeping in a hostel, but because not everybody has done that. And it's a myth that it's only just young people who stay in hostels, because older people can also stay in hostels, no problem.
Yeah, that's another. What is this?
Is it room for me here somewhere?
Yeah, come sit, man. Come sit.
We usually don't do movies from our own countries, and that's a little crazy because we live in one country, and it also has a lot of offer to other people who have never been to your country. Okay, now I'm going to eat this, and the bee also want to eat my chicken. Mama. Oh. One thing I also thought about is we people who do travel movies, vloggers on YouTube, like I like to become more and more of. We usually don't do movies from our own countries, and that's a little crazy because we live in one country, and it also has a lot of offer to other people who never been to your country. And because I know this city very much, I have a lot of talk about, so I have a good knowledge about it. So I really don't understand why we don't do more movies from our home countries. I have never thought about it before either, but now in this pandemic I really realized that we also have a country to show the world. Everybody has a country to show to the world, and that's the way it is. If it's going to be like that I'm not going to travel outside Sweden 2020, it's going to be the first time for me in almost 30 years that I have never traveled outside my home country. So this pandemic has changed everything for everybody in the world. And here is Oscars. That's a great theater in Stockholm. The classic Rain Man. The first trip south of my hometown that I have made this year because of the pandemic all over the world. I've just been up north of Sweden this year and doing adventures in the wilderness. But I am a Globetrotter, so I love the big cities also as much as the nature. So now I just jumped off the train here in this amazing town, Stockholm, that I really love. It's the capital of Sweden. So now I'm looking for my hostel in Vasatown, it's called Vasastan in Swedish. So I'm longing for this, to just mooching around in Stockholm. And here we have the World Trade Center.
You have been off the route for 20 meters.
That's a little strange to have World Trade Center in Sweden. It's history these days when you hear the World Trade Center. Sadly, I just want to settle down before I'm going to do the cruising and mooching around in Stockholm. And usually I come to a hostel, I can check in, immediately, but now it was just 11 o'clock, so I just take a beer before I can check in and make my bed in my bunk bed. And after that I can relax more. I usually don't have so much plans when I come to a big city. I just take it as it comes. And I'm really longing for this backpacking. I have been done so many adventures up in the mountain and with my kayak this year. My first city travel since December last year when I was to Bangkok and so on. So I'm going to stay at a hostel called the Globetrotter Hostel. It should be really nice. I love these hostels where I meet people like I usually do. I meet so many different kind of nationalities when you stay in a hostel, so I always looking forward to stay in a hostel. If I stay in a hotel like this, like here, Clarion Hotel, 200 euro per night, I don't meet anybody who wants to talk to me. Yeah, Stockholm is one of the most expensive when it comes to sleeping arrangement and eating out and drinking out, like in a pub. Can find nice places here also that are okay, that have okay prices, but generally it's very expensive in Stockholm. So if you're a backpacker like me and need to think about the money so you can travel more, it's a good way to watch movies like this, so you can get tips and inspiration to travel cheap in big cities. I really need to do commercial about my app that I always use when I'm traveling. You download the countries you're going to on the telephone, so you don't need internet. The only thing you need is a GPS signal and a battery in the telephone, of course. And you can mark out favorite spots like a needle on a map, and that's perfect if you want to go back another time when you come to the same town or place, or you just want to find your hotel again. So the app is called OSM, and the map is so detailed. It has so many details of stuff. You even have Wikipedia offline. So 200 meters to the hostel. It's also going to be interesting to stay in a hostel in this pandemic time. This hostel has made a lot of effort and PR for the safety they have. I'm going to stay in a dormitory with bunk beds, and in my room it's 6 beds. And they promise on the booking.com that they are sanitizing the place and clean the place up more than usual. That's a good thing. So and it's really cheap to stay in dormitory in Stockholm now this pandemic year. It's crazy. It's like Thailand. You pay like 10 euro for one night if you like, under 10 euro sometimes, depending on if it's a holiday or not. Weekend, it gets more expensive during the weekend. Ah, here it is. Crawford Place Hostel. Okay. Square 001. Hello.
Reach your destination, Crawford Place Hostel.
I have been to a lot of hostels in Stockholm, but never on this hostel. So this is going to be interesting. You never know what to expect when you book a hostel in the world. It's always unique places. Oh. They got a really good review on Booking, 8.2.
So this is for you. It's with all the information for your room and the door code. It also works from downstairs
Yeah.
and also for your code. And I put the bed linen just as a standard
Yeah.
procedure.
I have my own linen and towels and...
Yes. Yeah, cool. And the card has been charged, so you don't need to pay anything.
Okay, good.
Yeah, cool. So room number 6 is just down that aisle on the right side.
Room number...
It's room number 2, right?
No, room 2, yeah.
Yeah.
And checkout time on Sundays?
11.
11,
Yeah.
okay.
If you want to stay longer or store your luggage, just come here and then
Yeah.
we can do that.
And the kitchen is
Kitchen
there.
is there, exactly. You have one men's toilet there and one shower also.
Yeah,
And on the other end of the corridor as well.
yeah.
There's also a chill out room if you want on the
Yeah.
left side. Okay.
Good.
Cool,
Thank
yeah,
you.
if you need anything, I'm here until 3.
Okay.
Every day from 9 until 3.
Okay.
Cool.
Good.
Thank you
Thank
and
you.
welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, I can film a little bit because I'm alone in the room now for the moment. So I got the bed down under. That's going to be great. So talk a little tutorial about sleeping in a hostel, but because not everybody has done that. So you come to a hostel like this, and if you don't want to pay extra, you can bring your own sheets and towels. It's very good. And then you need to make your own bed with your own, of course, your own linen, sheets and linen. And then it's good to go. Usually I like to have a drape like this, so I can do that with my towel if I want to be more private. But I'm not going to spend so much time in this hostel. Not on this trip to Stockholm. I'm going to explore Stockholm more than to be in the hostel. But sometimes if you're traveling and being away a long time, maybe you want to spend more time in your hostel, I recommend you have a drape with your big towel so you can be more private, like this person has made there. I'm going to come late, people may sleep, so you need to have everything in order. Making the bed, not in the middle of the night. You can't make the bed in the middle of the night, you wake up everybody. So yeah, if you come late because of an airplane or something, that's a different story. But if you can make the bed early, do that. And prepare for the power of the telephone or the power bank, and have headphones on when you're listening to something on the telephone. Rule without an exception, that's using headphones. And don't bring up so much light in the middle of the night. And just be quiet, and then try to make your business on the toilet before you go to bed, and so you don't run in and out in the room, banging the door. Yeah, now I'm going to do my bed here. It was really cheap to be in Sweden, and I think that's because of the pandemic. It's cheaper to stay in hostel, but usually hostels are cheap, but not as this cheap as this hostel. Now I paid $25 for 2 nights. That's very cheap. It's nice to have some protection, so you can get some privateness. So there it is. I make my bed, and now I'm going to change some clothes here and go out on the town. And here is the view over Stockholm. I'm really used to stay in hostels, so people who do ratings on Booking and hotels.com, they are really particular. So a hostel that have 8.2 in rating. That's very good, but I can complain already in one thing here. There is absolutely no light at all here. No bed light. So I need to use the telephone when I'm coming in during the night. I would like to make a light when I'm going to the bed, but that's maybe because people shouldn't have so much light on, so you wake up everybody else, or maybe, I don't know why. It doesn't matter. It was a cheap hostel and it's very fresh. It's really clean outside here, and so I have never heard about anyone get stolen in a hostel, but of course it happened. But usually you're the same people who going to a hostel. You're the same kind of person. You want to stay cheap. You're a backpacker and so on. And it's a myth that it's only just young people who stay in hostels, because older people can also stay in hostels, no problem. I don't know why it's just youth people mostly staying in a hostel. Like this, just leaving the computer like that. I didn't have any computer with me this time, but if usually I have that also, I hide it under the sheet or something. It's no problem. You don't need to bring your most expensive computer when you're traveling. But when I go to a shower and go to the toilet, maybe I bring my telephone, of course, and my money if I have that. So you don't need to challenge your fate. So to bring your money and other small stuff if you go to the toilet or the shower. So now I have changed my clothes and I'm ready to go out to see Stockholm city. So don't be afraid to stay in a hostel. It's really lovely. You meet, sometimes I have made good friends there. I have make them friends on Facebook afterwards, so I can follow them and they can follow me, and so it's a really good place to find friends on. I'm 50 years old, but I find young friends also. It's no problem. So just be open-minded and happy. Just be friendly to everybody you see in your dormitory, and then just smile. And you don't need to be friends and talk to everybody. Just be happy and they be happy to you also. And it's a good climate if everybody respect each other in a hostel. So yeah, that's the way it is to stay in a hostel. It's maybe not the easiest thing, but it's the cheapest thing. I've never been around people stealing food in a hostel. If it's happened, maybe have an explanation. But it's okay. You just but do it. Just put it in plastic bags or something with a good knot, so people just can't open it so easy. That's my tip for you guys. If you want to have food in your refrigerator. That's an amazing view for just $12 per night. Okay, nice talk to you guys. I need to go and take some beer now here.
Alright, enjoy it.
Yeah.
Nice.
So now I'm out from my hostel, good to go. The downside with the big cities, usually the prices are definitely in Stockholm, Sweden. It's a really expensive town, but you can find cheap beer places in Stockholm also if you know where to go. So that's where I am heading now, to a cheap beer place. So, happy hour. I found the beer, 35 Swedish kronor. Oh. That's around $3 American. That's the cheapest way you can get beer in Sweden, that's 35 kronor. Sometimes they have for 29 also, but that was last year, so I don't know if they raised the price or something. I think you can find under 30 Swedish kronor, like $2.50 somewhere here in Stockholm. It's a good beer also. Oh, I'm not used to have mustache. You get beer in the beard. You get beer in the beard. Stockholm is famous for all their parks where you can sit down and just enjoy yourself and just relaxing, and because you can't just go to restaurants every time you want to sit down, you need to have parks. And Stockholm have a lot of green parks where you can just sit and watch people. And now I'm at Tegnérlunden, and in English it's called the Tegnérgrove. Grove, G-R-O-V-E. And here we have the Hötorget, the Hay Square in English. Here they sell a lot of stuff, everything from vegetables to second hand, but yeah, usually they have a lot of food here, like vegetables and fruits and so on, mushrooms, so on and so forth. But now they have some second hand here, just second hand, all over the place. That's a lot of stuff. Usually Hötorget has a lot of stands with fruits and vegetables and so on, and usually it looks like this, but now it looks like this. It's just a flea market all over the place in the middle of the central Stockholm.
جاني واحد جلبي ثاني يعني ما بعرفه هو صديق لي باكستان
Yeah, I never seen a flea market in the Hötorget before. I'm a minimalist, so I don't want any stuff. Want to get rid of my stuff. Not all the stuff, but many of my stuff I have get rid of. Just want to could sleep in a caravan. But it's nice to look. And now I'm coming to a really nice park. It's really big here in Stockholm. And the Vasa Park was named the Vasa Park in 1900, exactly 1900, and in 2007 they won the Siena Prize for the best landscape architecture project. So now you know that about the Vasa Parken. And now the Swedish Globetrotter just bought some lunch here at the supermarket. Hot chicken wings. No, chicken breast. Hot chicken breast. Directly from the grill. Cost me $2. And in Sweden we can have tap water wherever we go. Just totally free. And now it's time for some chicken. It's called the Chicken Club. It's still warm. So this is a tip if you want a quick and a nice good lunch without your gas kitchen. What is Corn Chicken Club? Is the chicken made of corn? Popcorn. That's it. $2 for my lunch. In a nice park. With the sun. Perfect. I think I need a napkin. Oh my god. That tastes great. This is not KFC. This is real chicken. But why do they name the chicken corn chicken? Is the chicken just eating corn? I don't know. But this is how I live when I'm traveling, just eating cheap. It's cold weather. I need to go to a restaurant maybe. No, it's good. It's 20 degrees in the shadow and it's almost end of September. Okay, now I'm going to eat this, and the bee also want to eat my chicken. And there is the Cockness Tower. The Cockness Tower with a great view all over Stockholm. You can go up there in an elevator if you like. This observation center is unique in the world because nowhere else in the world has anybody noticed the weather changes as much as here. And they start to do this at 1756. And then in 1931 they moved this observation center to Saltsjöbaden, Salt Lake Bath. And because the Stockholm city start to be so big with people, so it's become so much light in the city. That's why they need to move this observation center, because of the light. So they couldn't see the sky so good anymore. And up there was the main point of the center, I think. Observation tower. So this was not just about the weather, this place was also about astronomy and observation in the sky. One time me and my friend come here and paddling kayak, and then we have paddled 80 kilometers from Sigtuna and we went in here to Stockholm harbor, and this is where this river leads. That's a good memory.
Yeah, that was good. I think you said it was good. Yeah, that's another whole separate factor. Yeah. You know? Communication.
Yeah, I thought I heard someone saying that. I was like, what? What is this?
Is it room for me here somewhere?
Yeah, come sit man, come sit.
Yeah, you're actually like, sounds like you're
jag kan
Du
sitta
är
här.
jättevälkommen, kom brorsan. Vi kan prata över svensk. Ja,